Hello and welcome to this week's show. This week I want to talk about going back to the abyss, like I kind of talked about it the other week, in the form of poetry. Somewhere along the road back to the abyss we come along poetry, because going back to the abyss is a step-by-step process, isn't it? It's a process whereby nothing is black or white, and when we come across poetry we come to realize how much of a beautiful thing it can be, I think. So there are three stages in my funny little philosophy about this abyss thing, and the way that we evolve to the place where we now are. So we start off in the abyss, where we can't apprehend and can't explain, and then we move to a place where we can begin to apprehend but can't explain, right? And that's in infancy. Children, for example, can understand, I think, 500 or so words before they can talk. And then we move to adulthood, where we believe we can apprehend and we believe we can explain. So, when we go back to the abyss, we arrive at a place whereby there is poetry, at a place whereby we have let go of the control of words and the need for them to come together in grammatically logical ways. In the world of adulthood, in the world that we live in, we hold in highest esteem those that are highly educated and have arrived at realizations of profound logical purity, such as the philosophers and the mathematicians and the scientists. But, however, what I'd like to suggest is it gets a little tiresome, and the exhaustion that comes from constantly apprehending the world in purely logical ways can be relieved if we go back towards the abyss at least and come across poetry. So we go from apprehending to appreciating, and we let poetry wash over us like the waves lapping onto the shore of a lake. So this week I'm going to read a poem by my favourite poet, an English poet who lived some 500 years ago or so, Henry Howard, the Earl of Surrey. And if you really like it, then next week I could read you another one of his, because there's two particular ones that I particularly enjoy. So Henry Howard, Earl of Surrey, lived from 1517, roughly, they're not too sure, to 1547. He was in fact the last person executed in the reign of Henry VIII, and he was executed for treason. His father was the Duke of Norfolk, and he was spared from execution due to the fact that Henry VIII died the day before the Duke of Norfolk was to be executed, so he actually got off. His mother was the Lady Elizabeth Stafford, and so he descended from kings on both sides of the family. And at that time there was a bit of a family feud between the Howards and the Seymours. Of course, Jane Seymour ended up marrying Henry VIII. So he was reared in Windsor with the illegitimate son of Henry VIII, Henry Fitzroy, who eventually became his brother-in-law. So he was a poet, and he had a fairly interesting life, shall we say. He was a fairly creative chap, so he was in and out of jail, and I don't know, he got in trouble for a bit of drunkenness or something, and creating mayhem, I don't know. He sort of fell in and out of favour with the court, and in the end he was executed for treason on trumped up charges, really. I think it was that he had put Edward the Confessor's coat of arms on his shield or something. It was just an excuse, and of course the jury was all in favour of him being executed. They were not his friends. Anyway, here we go. The poem is called "A Vow to Love Faithfully, Howsoever He Be Rewarded." And I hope this fly likes the poem. It's buzzing around and annoying me. Anyway, here we go. Set me whereas the sun doth parch the green, or where his beams do not dissolve the ice, in temperate heat where he is felt and seen, in presence pressed of people mad or wise. Set me in high or yet in low degree, in longest night or in the shortest day, in clearest sky or where clouds thickest be, in lusty youth or when my hairs are grey. Set me in heaven, in earth, or else in hell, in hill or dale or in the foaming flood, thrall or at large, alive whereso I dwell, sick or in health, in evil fame or good. Hers will I be, and only with this thought content myself, although my chance be naught. Nice little poem, I think, and I've got another one on the wall there that I shall read next time, if you like this one, so let me know. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching this week's video, all about poetry, and getting back to where it comes from, in my opinion. Well, thank you very much to those of you who have subscribed lately, and I hope you enjoy my videos, and thanks for the comments and the ratings. I appreciate that very much. Keep on watching, commenting, rating, and subscribing. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week. Bye.